We'll be talking about the president's visit to China. And of course, Bill Gates are visiting Nigeria. All of the stories will be treated on Live from Abuja. My name is Ademola Lawrence.
And we can't miss out that the ladies are making us proud at the Paralympics in Paris, where we already have the 3 colors of the medal: gold, silver, and bronze. So it has been, a wonderful outing for Team Nigeria.
Interesting show is going to be today. And of course, a show, that take us through the event that have shaped the week in the last 1 week across Nigeria and across the world.
Well, all things being equal, we're supposed to have a very exciting lineup of guests on the show also that will bring in very interesting insights to the stories that we're bringing to you. And I'm particularly very interested in asking, a set of questions about the controversies that people have thrown up on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, over the years. Interesting
conversations we'll be having. But start with the President Bola Tinubu round up his official visit to China. During his trip, he highlighted the success of the China-African partnership as a model for sustainable development and shared prosperity.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit of the Forum on Africa-China Cooperation at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, he says partnership is driven by a bold vision for the future, and that by working together, Africa and China can unlock unprecedented levels of growth and development for their nations.
He also emphasized the importance of global collaboration in achieving shared progress and prosperity. The president said cooperation is key to solving global challenges, and the China-African partnership is built on trust, mutual respect, and the pursuit of common goals, and called for the sustenance of the momentum of cooperation and the need for peaceful dialogue, transparency, business practice, and diplomatic conflict resolutions in deepening the bond between Africa and China.
The summit follows a 5-day state visit of the Nigerian president to China, where he signed several memorandum of understandings that will cover multiple sectors of the economy, including information and communications, technology, refining, oil and gas, aluminium production, seaport construction, harbour construction and dredging services, financial services, satellite technology, development, unending, and other critical sectors.
Interesting conversations there.
Over the years, not just Nigeria, but the whole of Africa have seen, quite an interesting input of China in their development. So you go to places like Kenya, there is a big investment. They have a stadium built by China. Also, Cote d'Ivoire for the 2023 AFCON, there was also a stadium, that had a partnership with China. So you have a touch of investment. And when you come to Nigeria, you look at the Abuja Blue Rail also, part of what, it's not like a donation, but yes, made it possible through loans and partnerships and all that. So it's looking like they constantly have something to bring, because I feel like Africa is a large market that we can't ignore.
Talking about Africa being a large market, China on its own, from the Ministry of Commerce in Beijing, they said that they committed over $700 billion to invest in Africa from over a decade of it, So if we look at this investment, which spans across infrastructure, you also know that the conversation by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Xi Jinping was indeed in line with what China-Africa trade is all about. But first, let's take that package, and when we come back, we have our guest on the show to talk about the China-Nigeria relationship.
China seeks to entice African leaders with more investment opportunities in exchange for better access to raw materials that Africa has in abundance. Here in Beijing, leaders of African countries meet and discuss policies and areas of mutual cooperation with officials from China, Africa's biggest lender and investor. President Bola Tinubu, as leader of the biggest economy in Africa, has his eyes set on increasing foreign direct investments and also strengthening existing bilateral ties with China.
What began as a China support for African nations' independence has evolved into a rich, multifaceted partnership spanning trade, investment, and diplomacy. Over years of our ties, we have been solidified.
Nigeria, under President Tinubu's leadership, already has an advantage with the elevation of ties with the People's Republic of China to a strategic, comprehensive partnership. The Nigerian leader commended the role of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in advancing partnership for mutual development and prosperity.
We have been solidified. We share through high-level engagement, strategic agreement, and a shared vision of growth. China has consistently demonstrated its commitment to Africa, not only through financial and developmental support, but also through cultural exchanges that bring our people closer and closer together.
The bilateral relations between Nigeria and China were formally established in 1971, a decade after Nigeria gained its independence. Relations between the two countries have expanded to include bilateral trade and strategic cooperation, but the relationship has been lopsided, favoring China. This is what President Tinubu's new partnership with China seeks to balance.
Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, says Nigeria gets the largest intervention for